feel any pressure. But number two, I got 250 citizens coming in here Wednesday morning, and there's just
afternoon is fine, Your Honor.
yeah, if need be.
I have a hearing at 3:30.
It's fee hearings, you know.
Yeah, so I don't really have to say.
But I'm going to be here, right? Okay. All right. So, Mr. Henry, listen, I'm going to put you under oath and ask you some questions. Okay. It's only going to be as it relates to the state's offer, and it's only as to make sure that you understand the state's offer and you understand the charges that you're facing here. We're not going to talk about anything else. So just listen to my questions and answer the questions. Okay. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? All right. How are you feeling this morning? Your head is clear? You understand what's going on? All right. So, Mr. Henry, listen, you got two cases. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, right now, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Okay. In your other case, which is case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged as follows. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. All right. As the maximum penalty. Count 2 is directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. The maximum penalty is life in Florida State Prison. And lastly, count 7 is unlawful use of a two-way communication device. As that's charged, the second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison. So right now, as to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. It's life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Do you understand the charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? Okay. So, Mr. Henry, the state is telling me that they're extending an offer to you, and the offer is as follows. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, they're going to null process or drop counts 1 and 2, both first-degree murder charges. Okay, and in exchange for that, as to counts 3 and 4, in that case, the accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, you're going to plead no contest to both of those. And as to the 4 counts in case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 of those counts. And in exchange for all of that, the state is offering that I would adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to the bottom of your sentencing guidelines, which is 195.45 months, about 16, it's a shade over 16 years and 3 months, 16 years and 3 months. All of those sentences will run concurrently, that is at the same time with each other. I would give you credit for all the time that you have served, understanding that you have a lot less credit time on the 23 case because it's a newer case. So that is what would be controlling. Whatever credit time you have on the 23 case, you can subtract that from the 100.
I think he actually has more time on the 23 case than the 19 he's at.
Oh, okay. Well, whichever case you have more time, less time in custody, that's what would happen. And you get the credit for all the time that you've served. And again, that sentence would be 16 years, a shade over 16 years, 3 months in Florida State Prison. I would have to order restitution. The state would tell me the amount of that restitution. That restitution would be joint and several with any of your other co-defendants. If any of the other co-defendants were convicted at trial or entered pleas. In other words, the restitution only has to be paid once, but each person is responsible for 100% of it. All right, but as soon as it's paid, it's paid. I would have to impose mandatory court costs in each case, and I would have to impose a mandatory cost of prosecution in each case, which is $100. So, Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, the 16 years, 3 months, and a shade more. So I'm going to pause on it at this point, Mr. Henry. It's going to give you some time, whether that be tonight or also over the weekend, to talk to your lawyers about it. Make sure they answer all your questions, talk to your family about it, so you can make a decision as to what you want to do. Now, let me explain this to you, sir. I can't make the state make you an offer, and I can't make you accept any offer. I'm just the referee, okay? This is a business decision between you, your lawyers, and the state. And if you want to accept it and resolve both cases that way, that's fine with me. And if you want to have a trial in both cases, that's fine with me too. It doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form. But whether it be tomorrow, when I see you tomorrow, and then Ms. Wilcox, she already has tomorrow at 9 o'clock, that'll remain on. But I'll put them on both cases as well next Tuesday, which is September the 9th. Let's just call it 1:30 in the afternoon. September the 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon. We'll call it trial status in both cases. That's when we're gonna have to finish this conversation, Mr. Henry, and you're gonna have to tell me that either that you understand the offer that the state's making, that your lawyers have answered your questions about it, and then you're gonna have to tell me what your decision is, whether you want to accept the offer or whether you want to reject the offer. Mr. Henry, the one additional thing that I like to talk to people who are sitting in this situation that you're sitting in right now, and I have this conversation is as follows. The reason that I'm doing this is because I want the record to be clear what the state's offer was, and the record to be clear that you understood it and that you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about it. You had enough time to talk to your family about it. You weren't under any pressure to make a decision, whatever you thought was in your best interest, because it goes kind of like this. And I'm sure your lawyers could speak to it better than I can. If you accept the state's offer, that's fine. And again, if you don't accept it, that's fine too. But if you don't accept it, and one of these trials doesn't go your way, and you end up with life in Florida State Prison, which is a mandatory sentence on a lot of these counts, usually people in that situation, then they'll file what's called a motion for post-conviction relief, and they'll say, hey, Judge, my lawyer never told me. I didn't know that I could resolve all this for 16 years and 3 months. And if they would have told me that, I would have done it. And now I'm sitting here with a life sentence. So that's the reason I'm having this conversation now. So the record is going to be crystal clear on that issue. If it doesn't go your way, that argument's not going to be available to you to come back and say, hey, my lawyers didn't tell me about this, or I didn't know about this. So that's why I'm talking to you about it now. So, Mr. Henry, do you have any questions for me about the maximum possible penalties involved, or what the state's offer is to you as we're talking about it right now? Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause on that part of the conversation, and we'll finish that other part of the conversation either tomorrow or next Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to leave you on for tomorrow, all pending motions, which is September the 5th at 9 o'clock. I have one other matter that I need to handle prior to that with Mr. Gibson and Mr. Percio. I don't imagine that's going to take too long. And then I'll be right with you all tomorrow. And then Ms. Wilcox, we're going to put both of Mr. Henry's cases on Tuesday, September the 9th, 1:30 p.m. We'll call that trial status, and he remains set for trial in both cases on Wednesday, September the 10th at 9 o'clock, understanding that if we go forward with the trial, it's going to be on the murder case, the 19-1871 CF10A. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Mr. Haddad, anything else you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Okay. All right. So we'll press pause at that point, Mr. Henry. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock, which is Friday, September the 5th. Ms. Wilcox, does that otherwise conclude the FT docket for today? Yeah. Okay. So the FT is otherwise going to be in recess until tomorrow, which is Friday, September 5th at 8:45 a.m. I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon. All right, Mr. Court Reporter. That is it.
Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. All right, because I got to get moving, so let's talk about it. This is That's a decision, okay? Um, the offer is good. I'm not even gonna lie, okay? The offer is good because a lot of they dropped the murder charges first and foremost, you know. They never thought he did it anyway. I just feel like, and y'all know I just was saying, fuck it, take it to trial with double digits. But when you looking at so many life sentences, and it's like we see you, right, in the video getting in the car with the victims, the same way we saw Melly. The issue or the confusion with Melly is we never see Melly get out the car, right? You know, they have phone records and this and that. We don't know, technically we don't know when Melly got out the car. With Bortlen, we know when Bortlen got out the car because we see him pull up to the hospital with 2 bodies, right? We heard his interrogation, or not interrogation, his statement saying he was driving, shots fired, so he put himself there. And I feel like that's a gamble on people's thoughts to take that to trial. If you have an option, you know what I'm saying, to do 16. So, and I didn't hear them say anything about you have to testify against your co-defendant. I ain't hear nothing about no cooperation for those who run to that, okay? I'm not looking at none of that. Like, I'm not seeing that. They didn't mention that. I just feel like it makes more sense. Because at the end of the day, whatever happened, whether it was Melly or was somebody else or whatever, you're definitely accessory after the fact, point blank, right? And a lot of people don't know how to separate it, right? And could find you guilty. It's a setup to take the deal. He looking at 10 years with time served. He ain't been in, I think what he did like a year or something. He ain't do a lot of time like Melly. So yeah. Said Melly didn't get out the car at all until after the shooting. We don't know when Melly got out the car. Like, I'm not even about to go, like, I'm not in the mood to even have a debate about it. We don't know when Melly got out the car. At the end of the day, we don't know. Nobody, no witnesses have said when they saw Melly. Is no solid evidence of when or if Melly got out the car. Where he got off the car is only assumptions based off the state story. I'm not going down that road today. I'm just not in the mood for it. Okay. So at the end of the day, like I said, we don't know when Melly got out the car. But again, this is about Bortlen. We know when Bortlen got out the car. At the hospital with the 2 bodies. You know, we know when Bortlen got in the car. At the studio with the 2 victims plus Melly. You know what I'm saying? So again, I feel like 16 years is better than life. Because at the end of the day, you know, what happens with the witness temperance charges? I think he was going to plead no contest or something. Now, again, yeah, I'm not in the mood today. Hold on. All right, because like it's throwing me. I'm not in the mood today. We don't know what took place. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. Okay. I'm gonna say, in my opinion, Bortlen has enough for a jury to find him guilty, and this is why, because it's about the story. Okay, it's about the story. The storyline is they left the studio, something took place in the car on the ride home. They went somewhere else, and guess what? Shots fired, 2 of the victims died. Bortlen took them 2 victims to the hospital. He provided a witness statement, which put himself at the scene or wherever it happened. So a jury could definitely convict him on that. And he's young. He's 20 something. So I mean, again, if they didn't have nothing on him, no video of him with the bodies, no, I would probably say different. But again, Tyler said basically admitting it by taking it. Nah, that's not what that means. Again, they dropping the murder charges. So if they drop the murder charges, what is he admitting to? They dropped the charges. The accessory after the fact, I mean, he can't, I mean, the best lawyer, how you going to paint the picture that you wasn't accessory after the fact if you took the body to the hospital? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to really think about what the judge just broke that thing down. Like, it's really, it shouldn't be no gray area. The judge just broke it down. Now, if you put in place Bortlen's, and we're not talking about no Melly, because at the end of the day, Bortlen's plea doesn't technically throw Melly under no bus. Because at the end of the day, Melly is going to have to paint his own story for his alleged involvement at his trial. Bortlen, again, they have Bortlen's own words putting him at the scene or wherever it happened. He said, I was in the car. That's why they wanted to throw out the statement. He said, I was in the car driving, shots rang out. He said it. It's still in. We see him get in the car. Bortlen didn't have a phone. So it's no phone evidence, no. But we see him get in the car. We see him get out the car. I mean, that's too much of a risk to leave to people's minds. So again, they do have enough where a reasonably, reasonable person to think he's guilty. So again, it's better to bounce back and try to start a life with accessory after the facts than freaking murder charges. That's the biggest win, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, they never thought he actually did the shootings, right? But he's getting murder charges dropped. He's pleading no contest. So he's not saying he did it or didn't do it was part. He's not saying that. He's just saying, hey, based off this is best for me to do. I'm not saying I had nothing to do with it. I'm just taking this plea. Like, that's what no contest means. You're not saying that you did anything. You're not saying none of that. Does Florida do 100% of their time? I'm not sure. I'm not, off the top of my head, I can't think. And then with a plea, I'm not 100% sure. Somebody, if you're in Florida, I don't know off the top of my head. If he won't have to testify, I normally don't say this, but Buddy better take the deal and move around. Yeah. Because and this is my thing, if he's pleading no contest, I really, in the hearts of hearts, don't feel like he got to testify or he got to tell anything. Because at the end of the day, he's pleading no contest, meaning he's not saying he was involved or not. So I doubt he's throwing Melly or whoever under the bus. I think it's a good idea for him to take it. That's just my opinion. Y'all, I really need to get out of here. I still got to take a shower, get dressed to go search for my cousin. That's my 1-2 about it. For those who just joined, I'm going to chop it down, post it as a video. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back at it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
This is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.